So Courtney, the other day I overheard this Newport Beach realtor totally bad-mouthing Costa Mesa, and I was just furious.
Yeah, that would make me pretty mad too, because there are a lot of bumper stickers around Orange County with people that say, I love Costa Mesa, and I would have to agree with that. I would have to agree that Costa Mesa is a really awesome city. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to get out the map, we're going to show you around Costa Mesa, we're going to show you things you're going to really love about Costa Mesa, because Costa Mesa is awesome, and we're going to show you things that you're not going to like, you're going to maybe even hate, which might actually be more important. So let's get started.
So here we are, we're in Orange County, so that to kind of give you a sense of where we are, it's this really, like, for Southern California standards, a rather small county actually, and it just hovers right along the coast. And so as we kind of zero in on this area, you notice this amazing place called Costa Mesa. And I absolutely love this city. People, I think it just gets forgotten because of its more well-known neighbors, that being, of course, Newport Beach, just south of it, and then Irvine just east of it, but honestly, and Huntington Beach just to the west of it. So, I mean, it's kind of surrounded by these, like, I guess, more well-known, but honestly, Costa Mesa is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I would say that Costa Mesa, in a lot of ways, at least on the internet, it doesn't get its due because, like you said, it's right next to much more famous cities, Newport, Huntington, Irvine. I mean, these are the cities that, you know, anytime you go around the country, the United States, or even the world, people are more likely to know what Irvine is, what Newport is, Huntington, and if you say you live in Costa Mesa, most people will be like, what? What is that? But Costa Mesa is awesome.
It is. Actually, it's pretty amazing, and you get a lot of, let's say, like, again, you get a lot of variation here. So basically, so part of it that's pretty awesome is that you get a lot of coastal feel while not technically being on the coast, right? Because look at how close you are to the coast from this edge of Costa Mesa here. I mean, you're really, really close by. I mean, you're not far away at all. Or from this end, how close are you to the Back Bay? I mean, in the Back Bay, just so I guess we should bring that up. Well, so it's not technically in Costa Mesa. It's in Newport Beach, but like I was just checking to see if any sort of possibility of it, like, kind of, so it just borders it right there, but not quite. So the Back Bay is this estuary. Yeah,
it's an estuary.
So basically, this is where birds migrate to when they're going from Canada to wherever they go to. And again, this is one of their pit stops. And, you know, this was years ago, they were trying to develop it, but, you know, the environmentalists came in and squashed that and were able to preserve this. So again, this vital source of food and everything for the migrating birds. And then basically, so Costa Mesa, like, borders this right here, or part of it does.
So before we continue, let's just introduce ourselves. My name is Courtney Dezahd.
And I'm Sean Dezahd.
And we are licensed real estate agents here in the state of California. And if you are thinking about moving here to Orange County, call that number right now and we will set you up with a member of our team and we will get you started on finding that perfect property for you. Whether you are 3 months away from your move or a year away, it is never too early to get started on finding that perfect property for you.
So you would say, okay, we always talk about how, you know, the coastal cities in Orange County have the best weather in the world. Not subjectively, objectively the best weather in the world. I mean, it's honestly so mild, so temperate, just, you know, it never gets too hot, never gets too cold, just right. A lot of people actually, even along these coastal communities, they don't even necessarily have to use their air conditioner if they have one at all, just because it never, again, not to say it never gets hot in the summer, but it's very short, you know, a very short period of time. So having said that, Costa Mesa, at least part of it, may be arguably even better weather than, let's say, Newport Beach. And the reason being is that in June, we got this thing called June gloom. It's this overcast, this marine layer that kind of hits every June for pretty much the whole month basically. And it takes a while to burn off. And, so, you know, earlier in June, it takes way longer. So you're almost in the afternoon by the time it burns off. As you get later into June and closer to July, it burns off earlier. But what's nice in Costa Mesa, the June gloom burns off even quicker. So it's just such fantastic weather. It's hard to even tell you, like, how good it is. So arguably the best weather in the world is actually right here in Costa Mesa.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And I guess if you're talking about what Costa Mesa is known for, we can kind of start back here, right? So South Coast Plaza is probably like where we'd start with this whole thing. So this is kind of, I guess, what put Costa Mesa more or less on the map, I suppose. And South Coast Plaza is a fantastic mall. Like, it's almost it's basically a destination in and of itself. It's huge. It kind of offers a little bit of everything for everyone. So whether you're, like depending on what socioeconomic demographic you're in, if you're looking for ultra high end stuff, they got you covered. You got your Chanel's, you got multiple Louis Vuittons, you have Hermes, like you have Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Avenue, all that stuff. Like, so they have you totally. They're catering to your needs right there. But let's say you're on the other end of the spectrum, more like entry level type stuff. Like you're not really, want to splurge that much. You want to pay $10,000 for a pair of shoes. Well, you can go to the Gap. You can go to Forever 21. You can kind of do that whole thing too. So you can kind of go the whole end of the spectrum. So you have this huge melting pot of all sorts of people shopping in South Coast Plaza for whatever their needs are. So and then also on top of that, you have some fantastic, so some of the best shopping and dining in the world is right there. And speaking of dining, some really good restaurants there too.
Yeah, so Orange County only has 3 restaurants that have a Michelin star, and all 3 restaurants are in Costa Mesa, and one of them is in South Coast Plaza, and that is Knife Pleat. It just recently got a Michelin star. And then it also has Din Tai Fung, which doesn't have a Michelin star in the United States, but in Taiwan it does. So Sean and I always like to say that, square mile for square mile, Costa Mesa has the best dining in Orange County, and I would say that that's
true. That I coined that.
You did. So the neighborhood around
Yes.
South Coast Plaza is called South Coast Metro, and that South Coast Metro area, it's part of Costa Mesa and Santa Ana, so that's what South Coast Metro is.
Yeah, if I had to say, there's as far as a map goes, I know it gets a little bit confusing about where it is, but if I had to say, kind of South Coast Metro is kind of like this, I guess.
Yeah.
And
It goes like to
kinda
Fountain Valley, yeah, right there. And I would say, because this is so centrally located, and these freeways, if you want to pan out, you can show how not only are you right where the 405 and the 55 is, but you're very close to the 5, so you can show where the 5 is, and you're very close.
73?
Oh, the 73, yes, the 73, which is a toll road. And in that part of the toll road is not pay. So
Oh, but they'll make you pay later on.
they will make you pay later on, but that part of the 73 is not pay. So it is so conveniently located in terms of the freeways. And I will say that this part of Orange County, like for the price, is very good value.
Yes. We've lived here. I've been very happy with the convenience factor. So
Yeah.
not only is it a job hub in and of itself, and also next to a bunch of job hubs. Two of the larger job hubs right next to here are
Yeah.
Irvine and Newport Beach. And Irvine is the biggest. Newport Beach is probably second or third, depending. It's between them and like Anaheim. But basically, you have major job hubs right here. And South Coast Metro actually in and of itself has it. And then you have, like what you were mentioning, the 405, the 73, the 55, the 5 freeway. They're all right here. So wherever you want to get to in Southern California, really, really convenient.
Yeah, so Sean and I, the first piece of property that we ever had was in South Coast Metro.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was actually very convenient.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was nice to be able to get to wherever you wanted to go.
Yeah.
So, and then not to mention, okay, like speaking of that, so John Wayne Airport is right here. So talk about transportation. Yeah. John Wayne Airport is, I can never tell which city it's technically in because I know that it's kind of like Irvine, Santa Ana, and Costa Mesa, and part of Newport Beach. They all kind of have some sort of claim to, like they all border it, and so
I guess it's technically Santa Ana.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Irvine borders it, Newport, Costa Mesa, and Santa Ana. So, like, you're right here where John Wayne Airport is. And it's a pretty good-sized airport, actually. So, it's a regional, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily even call it a regional airport because it does fly to Canada and Mexico. So, it's technically international, but you're not going to Europe from here. You're not going to Asia from here, I don't believe. Yeah. So, you're kind of going, but domestically, it's really solid. You have actually a lot. It's kind of surprisingly robust for the options given the size of the airport. I mean, it's kind of actually shockingly amazing.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so love John Wayne Airport. Super easy to get in and out of. You love the security situation at John Wayne Airport. Yeah, so you already let them know that there was one Michelin star restaurant in South Coast Plaza itself. But right next to South Coast Plaza, or just down the street, down Bristol, there's another Michelin star restaurant. Yes.
I never can remember.
The lab, the anti-mall.
So there's the lab and the camp. They're right next to each other, and they're basically like the anti-mall, the anti-South Coast Plaza, and that has another Michelin star restaurant in there.
Yes, and so this one, it's kind of like an experiential cuisine. Like it's sushi and not cheap.
No, it's not cheap.
Whenever you combine sushi with Michelin star, you when you combine those two, you remove money from your pocket because it's going to cost you. I mean, Michelin star restaurants as a whole are expensive, but then you just take that into a whole level with.
Yeah.
So getting outside of the South Coast Metro, you also have another major thing. Let's see, just south of the 405 freeway. So this kind of south of 405 borders, basically it borders Huntington Beach / Fountain Valley, and this is Mesa Verde. So this is a really cute community right here. Actually, I grew up for a little bit in Mesa Verde, and like like ranch style homes, like single story homes. There have been bigger homes that are built over time, not brand new by any stretch of the imagination. A lot of stuff was built, I would say, in the 60s, maybe 70s, in that vicinity. So, but super cute. Multiple golf courses here. Again, really nice, beautiful community. Again, people really like it a lot. And again, it's super convenient access. It's another major plus for here. And also right next to it is Orange Coast College. So UC Irvine is just down the freeway in Irvine, of course. But Orange Coast College is a junior college, and it's actually a highly ranked junior college, and it's a huge feeder into the UC schools as well as the Cal State schools.
Yeah, and they actually have a decent amount of students come from all over the place to go to Orange Coast College.
Yeah. No, yeah, from like all over the world, not just like all over the state or the country. So it's a huge, huge thing. And the OC Fair and Event Center. This is a kind of a fun thing. So the Orange County Fair is held here, which is kind of funny because usually fairs are kind of held like way in the outskirts, like, but in this case, it's actually like right off the 55 freeway, close to 405 and 73. It's super convenient. So again, it's fun. It's a fun thing to do. A good sized fair, and they also have swap meet every weekend as well.
And they also have some big performers come there, like big comedians, music acts. Yeah, there's always stuff going on at the Orange County Fair and Event Center.
Yeah, they have the Pacific Amphitheater there, so they have so it is a concert venue as well. And then as you go down a little bit more, then you're kind of heading to, let's say East Side Costa Mesa. And this is arguably Courtney's favorite community in all of Orange County.
Yes, I would say what I like about it. So when I first moved to Orange County, so this is back when I was
the 1500s.
In the 1500s, when I was 18 years old, when I came to UC Irvine, one thing I really did not like about Orange County and Irvine was all the master plan communities, how master planned everything was, how everything was a different shade of beige, because I had come from San Diego, and San Diego San Diego is more, I would say it's more similar to Los Angeles in that it was more organic growth, whereas Orange County, everyone knew that people were moving there, so they planned for it, right? It kind of like got the benefit of planning. But one of the things that planning brings is master plan communities where everything looks the same, and I didn't like that. So the reason why I really like East Side Costa Mesa is because it has that charm that I was so looking for. All of the houses are so cute. The neighborhoods look different. It's just very charming, I would say. That's just the best way to describe it. And that is why I really, really like East Side Costa Mesa. Also, it's close to the beach, so you get that phenomenal weather, right?
The sea breeze.
The sea breeze. But Newport Beach, especially directly west of East Side Costa Mesa, it can start getting crowded. It can start getting, very touristy. Whereas East Side Costa Mesa is kind of just residential. So you don't have to deal with like the tourists and stuff out there. So that's another reason that I like East Side Costa Mesa. Also because it's by Back Bay, because I'm a runner. I love to run around Back Bay because Sean and I, we ran at UC Irvine. That's how we met. So we have both run around Back Bay probably 1,000 times, and I've biked around it as well, probably more times than that. So it is a great place if you like outdoor recreation.
Yeah, for sure. And also, the Back Bay, there's a trail that, so you can run literally around this whole thing. It's actually a great run for sure.
Yeah, and we probably should talk about, because people always have questions about the airport noise, because the flight path of John Wayne Airport goes directly over Back Bay.
Yeah, it kind of takes off and kind of goes. Yeah. The airplanes kind of go, yay.
So East Side Costa Mesa, when you're in Back Bay, you can really hear the airplanes.
Because they're directly overhead.
Yeah, they're directly overhead, but there's not really any homes directly underneath the flight path in that part of Back Bay. I guess when you get more down to Newport.
Santa Ana Heights does.
Yeah, Santa Ana Heights, and then also down farther in Newport. But in East Side Costa Mesa, you can hear the planes. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but it kind of becomes like white noise for me. But I mean, everyone's different. So if you're concerned that you might get bothered by it, I mean, obviously I would recommend going out there and seeing if the noise bothers you.
Yeah, actually, I remember I had this deal with a client who was like a neighbor of my mom's who lived in East Costa Mesa, and like so we were helping him find another place. And what was funny was he was buying also still in East Costa Mesa, maybe one street up, and the tenant that lived there did not want to leave, so he was bad mouthing. He's like, "Do you hear that airplane?" And so we always have to pause to listen for the airplane. And it was funny because this guy lived in the area, and we were both going, I guess you can hear, if you're listening for it, you'll hear it. But it was one of those things where it didn't deter the guy. He still bought the property. But
Yes.
it was just one of those things where, I guess you can hear it, but like, again, it's there. So that's why we want to say it. But you will not, you will selectively remove that sound from your hearing where you won't.
Well, I don't know. Everyone's different. You gotta say. I mean, for me personally, it doesn't bother me. But everyone's different. You can't say what someone will do.
That's fair enough. Although I have not met one person myself that has said, "Oh my gosh, it's so noisy here that I can't deal with it." But I will say that, like, you'll see some of our videos where we were in the Back Bay. This is much louder. Like, it's actually kind of amazing, right? Like, if you're directly underneath a flight path, as opposed to being just a little bit off from here, it's pretty dramatic. So it's just one of those things that it is there. And obviously, if you check out the area, you probably will just listen for it. And again, listen for it for like 10 minutes, not just the first time, because the first time you will hear it, but you tend to find that it gets drowned out. Like, you'll kind of just not really pay attention much to it anymore. So, and then obviously, speaking of East Costa Mesa, one of the major shopping hubs, we already talked about the South Coast Metro stuff, of course, but another one too is actually 17th Street. So as we're going into 17th Street, this is where you have like a lot of banks, a lot of restaurants, a lot of grocery stores, that kind of thing, like, drugstores and stuff like that. So that's kind of one of your major shopping corridors in Costa Mesa.
Yeah, so Sean and I, we just clicked on, because the map said downtown, and we were like, what is that? I've never heard of anyone say downtown Costa Mesa.
Yeah.
It's weird what sometimes Google will label. It's funny, they don't even have a picture.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, if the downtown, no picture, that's interesting.
And then obviously, there are plenty of other neighborhoods in Costa Mesa. I mean, obviously, we don't want to bore you with like every little neighborhood. We're kind of just giving you the different flavors of Costa Mesa. Costa Mesa is an awesome city.
Well, and actually, that's the thing too. I don't mean to interrupt, but we're also talking about again, there's a bunch of different other pockets, and that's why you want to reach out to us so we can kind of, depending on what your needs are, we can point you the right direction. Because obviously, in this video, we're just kind of going with the most notable ones.
Yeah, the ones that, most people, you talk to anyone in Orange County, they probably would know what these neighborhoods are.
And remember, we are licensed realtors here in the state of California, so as much as we love making these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, what you want to do is you want to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email.
Or you can reach out to us via WhatsApp. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back.